Good morning, good people. This your man Cam. As you can probably tell, I'm driving right now, about to head to work this morning. But just want to jump on here, and give everybody a few words of encouragement, man, because we are in some extremely trying times right now, in which in my lifetime, as far as being an adult, for the most part, having to be out here on my own and pay for everything, get up in the morning, go to work and all that type of stuff, I've not ever experienced the situations that we are potentially going to be in and that we're in, I should say, right now. We have a guy in the White House who, like I mentioned several times before, who is on his way to trying to become the first dictator of the United States. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, just look at his actions. I haven't truly kept up with presidents over the 43 years that I've been on this earth, but I'm pretty sure that there's not ever been a president that has done the things that he's done, and it doesn't matter the time frame he's done it in, because he's done it in a short period of time, as far as forcing people to resign from their jobs, cutting all these different jobs, cutting off the aid to poor countries like Africa, cutting off the people who worked and did the good deeds, I should say, when it came down to feeding and taking care of the poor countries. When it comes down to the foreign exchange, or whatever they call it, I don't know the government names for any of this stuff, but my point is that he's cutting all these people's jobs. People are going to end up struggling because you have a president or a guy who's coming in and just basically cleaning house. And it's ridiculous, y'all. The acts, or whatever you want to call it, that he signed into play, and the things that he's taken off the books, so to speak, when it comes down to equal opportunity for people in the workforce and for people to go to school and stuff like that. He's cutting that all out. He's sending all of the immigrants, so to speak, back to their countries. He's taking away the rights that the other presidents gave to the LGBTQ community. This guy's a tyrant in the long run. And what really got me tripping is that majority of these groups, the blacks, the Hispanics, the homosexuals, or whatever have you that you call them, all of these groups of people were adamant about voting this guy and putting him back into the White House. And I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, these same groups of people are now crying and wishing that they did not ever sign his name or push his name on the ballot. And my thing is that he showed his true colors throughout the 4 years he was in the White House the last time. He showed his true colors in the speeches that he gave. What type of true leader speaks the way that he speaks? He uses foul language, in which a leader should not speak the way that he speaks. He talks about in what we used to call Joan people out, but he talks about people's looks and the people's actions, and people think that it's a joke. And all he's doing is playing off of your emotions, and he's using different tactics in order to have others bend at his will, basically. Man, this is gonna be a rough 4 years, y'all. These tariffs that he's putting into place, it's already hard enough for majority of the people that are out here to pay their bills or to grocery shop and all these other things, and yet he's doing things to make it worse for the common people. Now, if you already got money and you're sitting on hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars, then a couple of dollars here, a couple of quarters here may not affect you. But people in positions like I am, a couple of dollars here, a couple of dollars there, truly affects my bottom line, so to speak. And it's majority of the people that are out here in this society that's going to feel the pinch that this guy is putting us in. And once again, it's these same knuckleheads that was ready to go to war for this guy, ready to tear the whole White House down, ready to literally go in and hurt the Democratic Party and the ex-vice president because their president at the time had lost the election. All this fake election, all these fake ballots, it's a bunch of nonsense, and we know it's nonsense. But the ignorant are going to believe that the ballots were rigged the last time. Oh, look at the landslide I won by this time. And that means that you had more people vote for you and less people vote for the Democratic Party this time. It has nothing to do with fake votes and all this other nonsense, but people are literally taking this nonsense and running the mile with it. Man, it's time to wake up. Well, it's too late for the most part now for y'all to be waking up, because now y'all cannot go back and change what y'all have done. Y'all have literally put a guy in position to destroy this entire country, to destroy everything that had been put into place to help change the narrative of the direction that this country was going in. We're going backwards, y'all, with this guy. And it's obvious. He got a multi-billionaire or whatever he is, this Tesla guy, who has no government experience on the staff at the White House to help so-called fix the economy, to fix the government debt. Let's be real, y'all. Just because this man has the money that he has does not mean he has what it takes in order to fix the debt that this country is in. I guarantee you, if you look at Tesla is not debt-free. No business is debt-free. All businesses have to incur some type of debt in order to run efficiently, so to speak. And that's just how society is set up. You pay for the buildings, you pay for the materials, you do all of this stuff. But because people are so ignorant and all they see is the glitter and the shimmer and the shine, and they see, oh, he's got the owner of Tesla, a part of the government. And that's all they see. They don't see the reality that he's using manipulative tactics, like putting people like that in a position in order to have complete control over this country. And to have complete control over this country for longer than 4 years is what I'm alluding to. But once again, y'all, this is what y'all wanted. This is what the people wanted. And when the poor, white, black, Hispanics, and all these other ones really start to feel the pressure that this guy has basically put us under because of he's rich. And that's what he's about. He's about the rich. He's not for the poor working class people. He can sit there and say all kinds of lies out of his mouth saying that he is for the people, but in reality, I see through the nonsense. He's not for the working class people. But hey, we're going to find out in the long run, y'all, that whoever voted this guy in the office has done a terrible deed, not only to this country, but to themselves. And it's only been a couple of weeks, y'all, and he's already destroying everything. And if it wasn't for the people around him telling him, hey man, you can't just implement these tariffs right now. You need to do something about these tariffs. If it wasn't for the people saying that, we would already feel the pressure of prices increasing because of what he feels is going to fix the debt in this country. And anybody with any common sense knows that when a country like the United States, you're not going to ever fix the debt in this country. Even if, when it comes to the economic industry and all this other stuff, if we're behind China, but I guarantee you, China has a ton of debt. And it's a ton of debt that they're not going to ever be able to get themselves out of, because in this country, you have billions of people living here. And you have to ship in goods because we do not have all of the resources here in this country to be able to have a stable economy and to take care of all of the people's necessities. We don't have it all here. We don't have the resources. That's why we have to depend on Canada. That's why we have to depend on the Hispanic countries. That's why we depend on other countries, because we can't do it all by ourselves. But you let this ignorant person that's in office right now tell you differently, and you believe that we truly have all of the resources here in this country to stay afloat and to stay afloat forever. It's not reality, y'all. You have to really look at it and know that what he's telling you is a bunch of lies. And Canada, that's our neighbor. Mexico, that's our neighbor. When you start to blur the lines between your neighboring countries and something was to happen catastrophically where we need their help, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to come to our aid. And if they do come to our aid, it's going to be at a bigger expense. It's going to take more from us in order for them to come and help us, because you have, once again, a leader of this country that has no earthly idea of what he's truly doing. And then you got these people over in Gaza and all these other places who felt like this guy was the right pick. And he's literally saying that the other countries are going to take in all of their refugees and they're going to rebuild Gaza and make it into some like resort country. Like, y'all, come on. Let's use common sense, y'all. Let's stop running to the ignorant and run away from the ignorant and run to the truth. We are running away from the truth and getting further and further away from it in order to fulfill our desires that and our wants that is not going to happen, because we do not have the people around us in order to fulfill these dreams and to fulfill these desires and to fulfill these wants. We just don't have it right now. But hey, man, I had to get that off my chest, because every time I see this guy, it makes me sick to my stomach. I literally want to throw up, because I just see all of the evil, the corruption that this guy is full of. Just like that music guy that's locked up right now. Every time I see him, I just want to throw up in my hands, because you can just see that they're full of evil and corruption. And you got people, and not going to go into that, but you got people talking about free him, knowing that this guy is no good for this country, no good for this society. But that's how stupid we are as a society. We are so quick to big up wrongdoings. We are so quick to clap our hands and applaud evil and wrongdoings. And when it comes to doing good and doing right, we bash it. We want to call people all kinds of names and stuff. If somebody saw somebody shoot an old woman in the middle of the street, and you go and tell the police on what you saw and who you saw, the society want to label you a snitch. How ignorant of a people can we be when we are considered snitches because we want the truth to be told? We want the wrongdoers to be taken off the streets. We don't want to keep them on the streets because, well, I just get my revenge on them. Fool, you create a cycle. Excuse me for saying that word, but we create a cycle then at that point. We just killing one another and killing one another. And that's cool. And that's what we want. And that's what we think life is about. Y'all, we are completely mistaken as a people. And I don't care what race of people you are. We are lost out here. The street code. Man, forget a street code. You hear what I'm saying? That's the problem with y'all. And then you go and sit in prison for something that you didn't do because of some so-called street code. But yet, at the same time, the same person you sitting in prison for, if the shoes was on the other foot, probably wouldn't sit in prison for your dumb butt. But yet you spend 10 years in prison for something that you didn't do. And then when you come out, you get oh man, I did 10 years. And that's like a badge of honor. To be in prison with a bunch of men all day long. And that's a badge of honor. Boy, we are lost. We truly are lost. And I'm not saying it from a perspective of not knowing. Like I said, I come from the hood. My people, before they was even teenagers, was going to boot camp and was going to juvenile facilities. You hear what I'm saying? So I'm not saying this from a perspective of I grew up in Beverly Hills or I grew up in Buckhead. You get what I'm saying? Or Roswell somewhere in a big house. No, I grew up in the projects. I grew up in the hood. So I know the ins and outs of the streets. And I know that mentality. Because when my homeboy would come home or when my brother would come home, or when they was locked up, yeah, my folks, he down there in jail right now. Yeah, he in juvenile. We thought it was cool. But that's a child's mentality. As a grown man, we should know that that's not right. And when we see something wrong, we should not be afraid to tell what we saw and what we see. And that's all I'm saying, y'all. And you can call me what you want to, but I know that I'm telling you the truth and I know what I'm saying is factual. It's time to wake up out there, y'all. And you got a thug life president in the White House right now who don't give a darn about good people and about people that's actually trying to do right. But I'm out of here, y'all. I done said my little piece. I hope everybody have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll talk to y'all later. I'm out.